What is up, guys? Boris here, and today I'm coming to you guys with a guide on how to get your first Mega Digimon in Digimon Linkz. Now, if you guys have been trying out the Advent raid events, you guys know that these are incredibly punishing events. They're very difficult and at the same time have very, very low drop rates. So low. So today I've decided to go ahead and try to make a guide to help you guys prepare for the next set of Advent raid bosses. I don't know when they'll be announced, but seeing as how I got completely blindsided and I completely wrecked this week, hopefully together we can prepare for the next set of Advent, the next wave or whatever. Now keep in mind that even with the perfect team, it'll still be a lot of grinding that's going to be required to get those medals. I've seen a lot of people grinding, still not get any medals at all. So to be honest, it's been pretty fun, and the exciting part is that they have so many megas in the game that eventually, they'll release these slowly, and hopefully they'll release your favorite ones soon. But today I'm going to tell you guys how to prepare for these events because, like I said, they are punishing. And I went into this first week of Advent raids completely unprepared, and my gems paid the price. So let me start off by saying that the most important thing to keep in mind when going into these Advent raids is going to be both the type for the character that you're fighting and their ability types. Now, this will completely depend on each Digimon, and so what I recommend is that whenever they announce the next set of Advent raids, should be soon considering I think this event ends tonight. Whenever they announce the next set of Advent raids, the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and look up what the character's type is and what their move types are. So I'm going to leave a whole lot of resources in the description, guys, that you guys can use, the ones I use to figure out what all this is. But first off, you're going to go to this page right here, and here it'll list the moves of the Digimon. So let's say that they were to announce Metal Garurumon, for instance, next up as the raid boss, right, as one of the raid Advent raids. Then you would go ahead and look up his moves. Now we know that he is a lightning type, but when you look at his moves, it actually turns out that he has a water type attack. So very interesting, right? So that's the most important thing to know going into these is the Digimon type, because you want to take characters that will have super effective moves against it and that will resist their general attacks. But in some cases, they actually attack with a different element, like in this case, like I'm talking about. So you want to also be prepared for those kind of attacks so he doesn't one-shot your characters. And if you're having any trouble finding out what the Digimon type is, in the first place, remember that you can find out what type it is through which evolution stones it requires. So if you don't have the ultimate to look up the Mega, trust me, it'll be out on the internet once the next batch is announced. Trust me, everyone will be talking about it. So that shouldn't be too tough. Now, once you know the move types and the character types for the Advent raid that you're targeting, make sure to go ahead and pull up the elemental weakness chart. This is very important. Try to spend like 5 minutes studying it. It's kind of complex at first, but once you look at it for a little bit, it starts to make sense. Essentially, every element resists their own element. So fire resists fire, water resists water. The only way this doesn't work is with neutrals, because neutrals isn't resisted by anything. That's sort of what makes it good, except nothing is weak to neutral. So for the most part, you want to study that chart. And so if you have a certain Digimon that is a certain type, well, you want to bring that kind of type to the dungeon, unless in some cases, like I said, they might have a move that is not their type, in which case you want to play around and try to figure out the best ways to do things. So for instance, if something is weak to, well, most of them are weak to 2 types. If they're weak, I think actually every Digimon is weak to 2 types. So you'll want to bring your Digimon that have moves of that type, but they might not necessarily be that type. There'll be a different type that can resist whatever they need to resist. So if a character is a lightning character, then you want to bring a lightning character of your own, but maybe with like a wood elemental move or stuff like that. So play around with the chart, know the strength and the weaknesses, and then go ahead and build a team upon that. And so that's when we get to the third part. The third part is really, like I said, building your team. At that point, you really want to start building your team. You want to start saying, okay, well, I have these sort of characters in mind. Let me do some research on what could be some good characters to do that. So now we go back to the move set, and now we look up different moves for ultimates, see which ultimates have, which ultimates that have what the moves you're requiring based on which type and stuff like that. So like I said, if you need an elemental, a lightning character with like a wood move, that's when you would, look that up. And it's kind of rough for now, but that's what you want to do for the most part. And once you figure out the Digimon that you want, you want to figure out how to evolve them. So at that point, I'm going to bring you guys over to an evolution chart, an evolution PDF. Again, all this will be in the description. And from there, you can sort of see which Digimon are required to evolve to certain Digimon. How can you get to them? And you want to start grinding the evolution materials as soon as you can. Like I said, we don't know what the next batch will be, so maybe they'll give us like a week break to prepare. But again, you want to be, stocking up on evolution materials so you can start evolving your guys as soon as possible. You use that, like I said, that PDF to scroll through and see, which one of your Digimon can you potentially use to get the Digimon you want. If you have rookies, make sure to feed resistances, so you could keep that in mind as well. Like if you have plenty of a certain type of rookie, you can feed them each other and try to get that resistance you need for that certain dungeon. It'll make it a lot easier so you don't die in it. And it's just things like that that will help you prepare for these advent raid bosses. Once you have that team that you want, the dream team, then you can actually go into the 20 staminas and hopefully farm it without spending a gem, or potentially just one from time to time. And that is really the trick to the advent raids at the moment. And until you get a mega, this game is really punishing, it's really tough. And hopefully this guide will help you get your first mega. But until then, hopefully you can prepare well and get ready for the next one. Again, we do not know at this time what the next set of megas will be, so I can't tell you which one to prepare for, but once they do announce it, let me know if you guys would like me to make specific preparation videos for each one, and I would be happy to do that. So with that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, peace.